Make peace with your past so it won't screw up the present. Dwelling on a past betrayal and refusing new relationships is like walking backwards and wondering why you keep stumbling. The most important step a man can take is always the next one. Refusing to move on from a failed job interview is like freezing in a storm instead of seeking shelter. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present. Worrying about tomorrow's storm won't keep you dry today. You might be the sweetest peach on the tree, but some people just don't like peaches. Not everyone will savor your flavor, and that's more about them than you. No matter what good you do to people, they will only remember your mistakes. Building 1,000 bridges and sinking one ship can make you a villain, not an engineer. You may not realize this, but the people you love are your biggest weaknesses. The heartstrings tied to loved ones can pull you from the highest peaks into the deepest valleys. The things you own end up owning you. Buying a fancy car on credit is like putting a leash around your neck. Most of the stuff you worry about never happens. Losing sleep over potential disasters is like waiting for a train that never comes. Don't depend too much on anyone in this world, because even your own shadow leaves you when you are in darkness. Leaning too heavily on a friend for your happiness is like standing on one leg on ice. Don't make one person the center of all your happiness. If that person walks away, you are left with nothing. If your whole world is your partner, you're living on a single pillar. Problems cannot be solved with the same level of thinking that created them. Trying to douse a fire with the sparks that started it is a fool's errand. There are times when you see someone for the last time and don't even realize it. You'll never know the true value of the moment until it becomes a memory. Ignoring your grandfather to play video games might leave you wishing for one more talk when he's gone. People don't get what they deserve. The world will not treat you better just because you're a good person. Being kind doesn't stop the thief from targeting your house. The only person with whom you have to compare yourself is the you in the past. Envying others' success is like ignoring the steps you climbed just because someone else is higher. Success is a loner's journey. You must learn to accept loss and make compromises. Chasing dreams without sacrifice is like wanting to harvest where you haven't sown. The ego is not a bad thing. It's a tool that shouldn't control us. Letting your ego lead is like letting a horse run wild without reins. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. Ignoring everyday wonders is like going through life with your eyes closed. There will always be someone better than you in something. Accept that fact and learn from them. Resenting a colleague's skills is like cursing the rain that waters your garden. No one has the answers. You're going to spend a lot of time figuring things out. Expecting life to come with instructions is like waiting for a map in the open sea. There are two ways to live your life: as though nothing is a miracle, or as though everything is a miracle. Death does not concern us because as long as we exist, death is not here. And when it does come, we no longer exist. Fearing death is like worrying about the sun setting. It happens whether you worry or not. All that we are is the result of our thoughts. If you think you're beaten, you're halfway there. Your defeat began in your mind. Someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. Believing someone who calls you a failure is like accepting a false diagnosis without a second opinion. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Feeling small because someone looked down on you is like shrinking because a cat meowed. Well done is better than well said. Promising to fix the roof and actually repairing it are as different as thunder and rain. Just because you know how it's done doesn't mean it's not magic. Understanding that a seed grows into a tree doesn't make the blooming any less miraculous. Live your life as an exclamation rather than an explanation. Living boldly, like shouting in a storm, beats whispering excuses in a library. He can do anything who thinks he can do anything. Believing you can cross the ocean is the first step to leaving the shore. If you are unhappy, you are doing something wrong. Complaining about being cold while leaving your coat unbuttoned is like blaming the wind for your chill. Kindness is a language that the deaf can hear and the blind can see. A gentle word can light up a face in darkness like a candle in a cave. Take time to enjoy life's simple pleasures. It's in these moments that we find the most joy. Savoring a sunrise costs nothing but can be worth more than the richest feast. A man is but the product of his thoughts. If your mind dwells in the gutter, don't be surprised when life seems dirty. Sometimes a hypocrite is nothing more than a man in the process of changing. Judging someone's past actions with their present intentions is like measuring a caterpillar by butterfly standards. We live in an age when unnecessary things are our only necessities. Complaining about a slow phone when you have no urgent calls is like starving in a candy store. What people say when they are angry aren't things they mean. Forgive angry people, it's okay. They are only human. Treating every harsh word in anger as truth is like believing every promise made in drunkenness. Dream you sacrifice your own. Giving up your dreams to fulfill others is like burning your own house to keep others warm. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. Blaming your childhood for your current laziness is like blaming the rain for not carrying an umbrella. If you can't do it now, you probably never will. Saying you'll start your diet next week is just your way of never starting. This too shall pass. Worrying about today's storm forgets that even the worst weather clears eventually. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. Locks stop honest people. Thieves find ways through. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. Blaming your childhood for your current laziness is like blaming the rain for not carrying an umbrella. Thinking is difficult, that's why most people judge. It's easier to label your neighbor lazy than to understand his depression. Speak your mind, even if your voice shakes. Telling the truth in a trembling voice is stronger than lying with confidence. Those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Refusing to update your beliefs is like refusing to upgrade your old phone. Both stop serving you well. Don't chase women. Instead, focus on your growth, values, and cultivating kindness. The right person will find their way to you at the perfect moment. Resentment is like taking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Wisdom often comes from silence. The loudest one in the room is often the one who knows the least. When fate hands you lemons, make lemonade. Complaining about losing your job won't pay the bills. Starting a business might. A friendship founded on business is better than a business founded on friendship. Starting a company with your best friend is like mixing oil and water, good for neither cooking nor drinking. The world is boring for boring people. Blaming the world for your boredom is like yelling at a mirror for your reflection.